Hello, hello, my friends. It is time for my December candle chat. And this go around, while I am going to be sharing with you guys what is currently in my burn rotation, I am going to let you guys know that the theme of this month is that it's not really necessarily a lot of new fragrances. I have a couple in here, but really in the month of December, I have talked about this at length, where I like to focus on a lot of fragrances that are very nostalgic to me. I pretty much stick to what I love. And so I thought that it would be a good time to not only share with you what I am currently burning, but maybe give you guys some suggestions for some great combos that I am burning. If you're like me and you have a pretty healthy sized candle stash, you might want to figure out a way to enjoy all of those fragrances, particularly in a short burning season like Christmas. So I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and share with you guys what are my current favorite Christmas combinations, as well as a couple of other fragrances that I'm not necessarily combining. But yeah, I thought that this would be fun. It's a way for you to use up your stash, especially if you're like me and you've done a lot of shopping recently. Maybe you have some of these candles in your collection. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. As always, all of the candles that I'm talking about today, I will have listed in the description box down below. And I'll also have any affiliate codes that might be able to save you some extra money if you are looking to purchase anything. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you guys, just as I was sitting down to film this, I was getting everything set up and I had a very unfortunate incident happen with one of my favorite candles. You guys, it just fell off of my little table here and broke. So, but we won't start on that note. Let's go ahead and start on a little bit happier note, shall we? I think I'm going to go ahead and start out with some peppermint types of fragrances. Now, I've made it no secret, Cody is not really a fan of peppermint fragrances. So when I burn peppermint scents, it's usually in the morning after he has left for work. Cody really doesn't come into the home and be like, oh, I can't stand that, unless it's probably like a peach fragrance. But on the whole, there's been very few times that Cody has ever walked in and been like, oh, I don't like that, but put that out. It's not really his favorite. So I generally save those fragrances, again, for when he is at work. So when am I putting this video up? Yeah, it should be after my KRINGLE haul. If you caught my KRINGLE haul video, you guys know that one of the fragrances that I picked up during their Black Friday sale was a backup of Peppermint and Cocoa. And I said that I think that this is now maybe the fourth time I've purchased this. I hope that this candle eventually moves over into the KRINGLE lineup. We have fragrance notes of crushed peppermint, chocolate morsels, praline cream, vanilla bean, minted woods, whipped cream, and musk. Now, this candle has been performing quite well for me. So if you were able to snag one or two, because this was only $7.75 during that sale, this to me smells very authentic to the Starbucks drink, the peppermint hot cocoa that you would get at Starbucks. This is so good. It performs well in my home. It's good, authentic hot chocolate, not that powdered mix hot chocolate. Good, rich hot chocolate, but not too rich. With the peppermint note. And I have really enjoyed burning that with another candle that I purchased in that haul, which is Candy Cane Lane. Now, this one is available now in the KRINGLE lineup. It did convert from the country to the KRINGLE. This has fragrance notes of peppermint, cocoa, vanilla, peppermint, sweet, and sugar crystals. And this one to me is not as strong as the peppermint and hot cocoa, but still really nice in a more closed concept space. So I will usually burn this one in my bedroom and then the peppermint and cocoa out here in the open concept. Yeah, this one's nice. It's just kind of like a vanilla peppermint, but not too, I don't know how to describe this one. It's not overly sweet and sugary. There's another peppermint scent that I'm going to show you that I also burn with this. But this is nice. I'm not sure that I would purchase this again, just because it's kind of I don't want to call it like a bland peppermint, but it's just peppermint to me with a little bit of vanilla in the background there. But the fragrance that I have actually been pairing with that peppermint and cocoa and the Candy Cane Lane, I will burn this usually in one of the other bedrooms. So the way that my home is laid out is that we have the open concept living areas in the center of the house, and then we have like one side where there's bedrooms, and then the other side where there's bedrooms. It's not a split floor plan like you would see like in a lot of the architecture in the Midwest, but yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if that's technically considered a split floor plan. So anyways, I usually will have 3 candles burning at one time. And the other one that I recently purchased from Yankee Candle is North Pole Frost. I actually did an exchange of my Polar Express candle for this one. Now, I do not recommend these Yankee 3 wicks. I do find that they develop puny wicks, and that does affect the fragrance, usually around halfway through the burn. To be fair, you guys, I don't think that that is exclusively a Yankee problem. I am actually starting to fall into the camp that I believe that there's something with this 3-wick design. I don't know if it's the wicks that are being used these days or the wax formulas, but something happens, I feel like, on almost every 3-wick from every brand, because I've had it happen with Kringle. I had it happen when Caramel Sundays briefly did their venture into the 3-wick market. HOMEWORX, their 3-wicks aren't necessarily this exact size. But anyways, what I'm finding is that they develop puny wicks. We know Bath & Body Works is notorious for that as well. But anyways, getting back on the rails here, this is North Pole Frost. And this, to me, you guys, this is kind of more of a sweet peppermint. I think I like this one because it's a little bit more sugary than that Candy Cane Lane. This, to me, is kind of like a cross between Bath & Body Works crushed candy cane and twisted peppermint. Now, if I were purchasing Bath & Body Works candles, I'm more team crushed candy cane. I like that fragrance more than twisted peppermint. This also kind of falls in line with the peppermint snowdrop that HOMEWORX has or had. I don't know if it's, I know it's not on the website. What is going on with the HOMEWORX website, by the way, you guys? I mean, I'm a HOMEWORX affiliate. I'm going to be honest with you guys. They don't, we get, how would I put this? We do get information from them every once in a while, but there's just not a whole lot that we get from them. And I've noticed that the HOMEWORX website does not look to, it doesn't seem like they're getting a whole lot of new inventory on there. So I'm wondering what's going on. Also, my friend Amy over at Beloved Fragrance Finds, she said that she noticed, I think it was last week, that our affiliate discount codes are now 25% off and there's no minimum. I don't know if that's a glitch or whatnot, but anyways, little sidetrack there about HOMEWORX. But getting back to Yankee, I do like this fragrance a lot. I would probably purchase it in a 2-wick tumbler if you're looking at getting this, or if you're a fan of those single wicks, you can do it there that way too. But I like this peppermint fragrance. I really do. And this one pairs really nicely with the peppermint and cocoa. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't want like bam in your face type of peppermint, maybe you like a softer peppermint type of fragrance, I am going to suggest a fragrance that actually I will have a dedicated review on in a couple of days for you guys. This is Kringle Candles Snow Walk. Now, this was sent to me in PR back in September when Kringle initially had their holiday lineup released. Fragrance notes are vanilla, peppermint, white chocolate, sandalwood, and musk. And I mentioned in my review, because I've already filmed my dedicated review on this, this candle to me is more white chocolate with a touch of peppermint in it. The peppermint note in here is very, very soft. It's very well done, but my nose smells more white chocolate. And then there's vanilla in the top and the base notes. So there's a little bit of creaminess to it. This candle is really, really well done, you guys. Again, I'll have a post burn on it, dedicated one in a couple of days for you guys. I would recommend that if you've purchased this already in like a daylight or wax melt and you like it, I would recommend looking for a sale on the 4 wicks or purchasing the 4 wicks. I have a feeling that Kringle will probably have a pretty good after Christmas sale, just going off of history. I don't have any insider info on that, just saying like based on the history of shopping with them for a few years, they usually do a pretty good after Christmas sale. But yeah, this is a really nice white chocolate, little bit of peppermint, soft peppermint, very nice fragrance that truthfully, you guys, this would still be good going into the winter months. And I have really enjoyed burning that with Caramel Sundays candy cane cookies. Now this is no longer available. The fragrance notes on here are baked snickerdoodle cookies, crushed peppermint, cinnamon butter, and powdered sugar. Now I know a lot of people purchase this in hopes that this would be very similar to Bath & Body Works peppermint sugar cookie, I think. Now I don't have that candle in my collection. I've actually never had that one. But I will tell you guys what my nose detects here is actually more snickerdoodle with a hint of peppermint. So again, if you're not somebody who wants that smack you in the face peppermint and you purchased this candle during, their last restock, which was their November restock, again, can't get your hands on this one anymore. You're looking for something maybe that's in your collection to pair with it. I would highly recommend pairing this with Snow Walk. It's a really nice, really, really nice combo going on there. So Candy Cane Cookies is performing quite well for me right now. I would say so far it's about a 7 in terms of strength and throw. I will do a dedicated review on this one just in case it comes back next holiday season. But those are kind of like my peppermint types of combos. Now, if you are still in that gourmand category, I have a combo of fragrances that I I feel like I saw somebody talk about this in the Kringle website, that they had inquired about this specific candle, and I haven't gotten information on this. Maybe I will reach out to my contact to see if this is true, but they had heard that this fragrance was being discontinued. I haven't heard any official word on it, but this is the fragrance Crinkle Cookies. I think this came out in 2023. Fragrance notes on this are chocolate, espresso accord, steamed milk, cocoa, brown sugar, and cream. You guys, if you've ever made crinkle cookies, this is authentic. This does have chocolate in it, but this is not like a milk chocolate candy bar type of fragrance. This has that like baked cookie accord going on with it, and I am here for it. This is actually a fragrance that I have repurchased. I think I've had this. I know I had this in a 3-wick before. But I really, really like this one, you guys. Now, I'm going to share with you guys the combo or the other candle that I like to burn this with. And you guys might think like, that sounds really weird. Trust me on this one. If you have Crinkle Cookies, which by the way, this 2-wick performs very well in my open concept. It's about an 8 in terms of strength and throw. Definitely fills up the open concept. If you have Crinkle Cookies, burn it alongside Wishing for Christmas and Thank Me Later. So Wishing for Christmas was inspired by Yankee Candle's Christmas Wish. It has fragrance notes of Christmas cookies, fresh pine, vanilla, and sugar cane. So this is like supposed to be like a sugar cookie accord mixed with a tree note. It's so good, you guys. This is one of my favorites. I've mentioned that I hope that Kringle brings this into their 2-wick tumblers because this one is just so good. I know a couple of years ago they had this in the Mercury vessels. Maybe that was like 2022. And I know a lot of people loved that format too. They haven't done those Mercury jars in a few years, and I wish that they would bring it back. They did some really good fragrances in that collection. I really loved, they had one called, I think it was just called Holiday. That was a really unique fragrance that had like a bay leaf component in it, but it was beautiful. I loved it in the wintertime. But they also put Wishing for Christmas in that lineup. And I think they had like Blue Spruce, maybe Snowcap Fraser. They had a couple of fragrances in there. Christmas, I think Christmas was in there as well. Anyways, back from my stroll down memory lane. Wishing for Christmas, if you happen to have it. Now, I will say this, in this format, in the country candle format, it's not a powerhouse for me. So I do typically burn this in a hurricane. And I will say that you have to watch on these vessels. This one in particular, it's always done this in this vessel for me. It does get a bit sooty around the rim. But yeah, I will burn this one. I actually have 2 of these because my friend Amy over at Beloved Fragrance Finds, she actually gave me one. She said it wasn't performing well in her house. So I already had one in my stash. So I burn one in each of the bedrooms and then Crinkle Cookies out here. And ooh, it is just such a yummy fragrance. Speaking of a combo that is like a sugar cookie or like a bakery accord mixed with a tree note, I didn't bring it over here because it's just so large and in charge. And after I just had the incident that I just had, I'm not going to bring it over here, but I'll insert a picture. If you happen to have Caramel Sundays Bakery on Main, I would highly, highly recommend that fragrance. I know that they had it in their 4-wick gold vessel, which I do have one of those in my collection as well. In fact, I probably should have brought that one down to show you guys. Maybe I'll show that one in the B-roll for you guys. But yeah, I love that fragrance. It's just a good like vanilla buttercream cupcake type of fragrance. But if you want it mixed with, make it a little bit more Christmassy, a little bit more holiday, mix it with, if you purchased their Dad's Fresh Cut Fraser. Now this one you see is not burned because guess what? I've already finished burning through an entire one. I burned through an entire one, I think, in like 10 days. I could not stop burning it. I love this tree fragrance, you guys. It's warm and woody, but it's got a little bit of vanilla that comes out. I've seen a couple of people purchase this on my recommendation, and on cold, they're like, I don't smell the vanilla. And I'm like, no, you're not going to smell it on cold. It comes out while it's burning a little bit longer. And again, it's not like a true like gourmand vanilla. It's just a vanilla that lends a little bit of sweetness that kind of takes away like the astringency of like a pine. But yeah, this one's so good, you guys. Another candle that you could possibly burn it with is SNIF's Old Saint Wick, if you happen to have purchased this on my recommendation. Now, I did do a post-burn review on this. Hold on, you guys. I feel a coughing fit coming on, still dealing with the lingering effects of this cold. All right, as I was saying, Old Saint Wick is another great tree fragrance that you could burn with a bakery scent. I really like this one, you guys. This is very versatile. You know, it's just a good tree scent. Now, I will show you guys, I have burned more than half of this. In fact, I would say I've burned 2/3, 3/4 of this 50-ounce vessel. This is definitely a fragrance that I would purchase again in this format next year. Now, I will tell you guys, the 4-wick, if you caught my dedicated review, you guys, this is like a 9 in terms of strength and throw. Fills up the open concept. But again, every time I've been burning this, people walk into my home and they're like, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. Truthfully, in fairness, you guys, most times when people walk into my home, like all of my kids' friends know, like, your house smells so good all the time. Most people know that, like, my house is usually going to smell good, but that one gets a lot of compliments. Now, while we are still on the tree and kind of gourmand aspect, here's where I'm going to tell you guys my other suggestion, and the candle that I was burning, and I just had a very unfortunate accident as I was sitting down. I had a 4-wick. In fact, I finished a 4-wick. You saw it in my empties video earlier this week of Caramel Sundays Perfect Christmas. And I was about halfway through the burn on my second 4-wick, the one that I purchased in their November restock. And it was burning beautifully, flawlessly. And I just had it sitting here on the ledge, and it slipped off and hit the edge of the chair that I sit on, and it broke here on the carpet. In fact, I'm looking at the little small glass shards that I still need to vacuum. I'm wearing my good solid slippers, so no worries about my feet right now. But oh, you guys, like, I am really upset. I am going to attempt to save the wax out of it and put it into another vessel so I can melt it in my candle crock, because that's a fragrance that I just love so much. Now, it is similar to the Bath & Body Works version, as I have said ad nauseum. It's more marshmallow forward to me, with the cinnamon and the pine in the background, whereas Bath & Body Works, to my nose, is more cinnamon and pine forward with a little bit of marshmallow. But that one burns really nicely, either with Dad's Fresh Cut Fraser or Old Saint Wick, if you happen to have either one of those in your collection, and you, again, want that mix of kind of like somewhat bakery. You kind of want that going on in your house. That is a great combination. Now, what else do I have here? Oh, goodness, another coughing fit. That's what I have. Okay, so I have another combination that I'm going to suggest for you guys, what I have been burning here. And again, I'm going to give you guys some suggestions for like fragrances that are adjacent to this or would also go well if you don't have this exact candle in your collection, but I think would still work well. So this is, of course, we all know my Kringle Away in a Manger that I now have like 4 or 5 of because I was not going to let it quietly go into extinction without getting more of it. Fragrance notes on Away in a Manger are juicy orange, mint leaf, lemon, clove bud, rose, cinnamon, nutmeg, musk, vanilla, cashmere woods. And this, to me, you guys, is just a more clove forward orange, but the orange in here is very, very juicy orange. This one, you guys, I get excellent performance out of. This is like a good solid 8.5, almost 9 in terms of strength and throw. But I really like pairing this with the new Frosted Dawn from the Winter Flight collection from Kringle. A lot of us affiliates have already done reviews on this one. The fragrance notes are mulled fruit, fir needle, lemon peel, clove, cinnamon bark, maple, balsamic frankincense, musk, and smoky vanilla. And a lot of us, you guys, have drawn the comparison that this is very, very similar to Bath and Body Works Winter. I would say to like the naked nose, to those who aren't really looking for like the nuanced differences, they would walk into your home, smell this, and think, if they are familiar with winter, they would think that you're burning winter. That's how close they are to my nose. A lot of people have said that it's the frankincense note that they think elevates this fragrance just slightly above Bath and Body Works Winter, and I would agree with that. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am about 6 days into this cold, and now the coughing is just, it almost feels relentless. Like, I feel fine. It's just all the drainage is just, it's driving me crazy. So it's been really fun trying to film this. I think I've done like 3 edits so far for her coughing fits. Anyways, what I was going to say is that I do hope that this makes it into the 4-wick format, although I will say that this 2-wick is performing very, very well for me. So if you have both of these already in your collection, you can burn them at the same time. Suggestions I would give if you didn't get your hands on Away in a Manger, the Reserve Vintage Pomander, which is Melanie's collaboration. She said this was initially one of the fragrances that was in contention for that, but she said this wasn't quite what she was looking for, but she said, make this a fragrance, and they did. And she was right, because it's a great fragrance. But another candle that will go nicely with Vintage Pomander or Away in a Manger, if you don't have Frosted Dawn, would be their Cozy Christmas. Now, Cozy Christmas is adjacent to this. I get a little bit more orange peel in that one. And truthfully, you guys, if you're going to ask me my favorite between Cozy Christmas and Frosted Dawn, I'm going to tell you that Cozy Christmas has the edge, but I do like this one quite a bit. Another fragrance that goes really nicely with Away in a Manger or Vintage Pomander is this, what is this called? The Woodside Holiday Traditions. This is from HOMEWORX. Now, this is available on QVC. This smells very much like Nest Holiday. So the fragrance notes on this candle are fresh orange pomander, fir balsam, amber, and cinnamon bark. You could also burn this with a tree fragrance like Old Saint Wick. Ooh, that was really loud. It's just so good, you guys. This is very like classy, sophisticated Christmas. I'm not going to hold on to this because I do not need one more thing breaking on me today. But I actually now have 2 of those. I did order another one while it was on a Black Friday special from QVC, and I really, really enjoy that combination. Those, I think they're 6 wicks. Are they 6 wicks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, those are 6 wicks, and I get pretty good performance out of them. So if you've been eyeing those and if you see them on any kind of special at QVC, I would highly recommend them. The last combination that I have been burning, you guys, is my beloved fragrance from HOMEWORX that is no longer available at the moment. It is Winter Fireside. I do know that this comes back year in and year out. I hope that Harry never gets rid of it. Fragrance notes on Winter Fireside are sultry incense, smoked firewood, rich clove buds, and mulled spices. You guys, this is yeah, this is just so good. You get that clove and incense. It's not overly smoky like firewood. It's not like the smoldering ember from KRINGLE that I did a review on last week. It's just it's hearth-like, but it's also warm and inviting. I'm not going to go on and on because nobody can get their hands on it right now, but this is one of my quintessential Christmas fragrances. And finally, the candle that I love burning with that Winter Fireside is a fragrance that, here we go, you guys. This is, I've made it no secret. I don't really purchase a lot of Bath and Body Works candles anymore. I feel like the only YouTuber who didn't participate in Candle Day last weekend. However, if they would have bought this fragrance back for Candle Day, I would have made an exception. And no joke, I think I would have bought 10 of these because this is such a nostalgic fragrance to me. This is Winter White Woods. Now this, actually, my friend McKenna from the Joyful Candle, she sent this to me last year. It was so sweet of her. She had it in her collection. And I know that she's really working on destashing a lot of, or whittling down her collection. And so she had mailed this to me last year. So sweet of her to do. The fragrance notes listed are glistening icicles, dried cedarwood bark, and spiced sandalwood. This, to me, you guys, this smells very much like the Christmas tree lots when I was a little kid. Like they just watered down. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's the sandalwood in here. This is a very woody fragrance. It's not tree. It's not a tree scent. But there's something about this that, like, it's funny because even when I let Cody smell this, he's like, oh, that's like going by the Christmas tree lots when we were kids. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. And he's like, no. And it's funny, I hadn't even told him that beforehand, that that's what it reminded me of. I just remember the first time I bought this candle and I said, smell this. And he was like, it reminds me of going to the Christmas tree lot as a kid. I'm like, what is going on with our Christmas tree lots in Southern California and Arizona? But it just smells so good. It's like I don't know if it's like because they would like, chop off like the stems so that it would be fresh, or I don't know, but oh, it's just so good to me. Now, again, Bath & Body Works did not bring this back, but if they ever do bring it back, this is a candle that I would make an exception for. There are a few fragrances at Bath & Body Works that I will make an exception for to purchase these days. You guys know that I have made the transition really over this last year with the amount of candles that I'm burning. I feel a little bit better prioritizing burning non-tox candles. I like soy wax, but that is one of the few exceptions, unless Caramel Sundays, if you're watching and you happen to get your hands on one of these and want to recreate this fragrance, or Kringle, you want to make this fragrance, then I would buy it from you. So that is what is currently in my burn rotation. Now, you may notice that there are 2 fragrances that I have listed as my all-time favorite Christmas fragrances that are currently missing from my burn rotation. And you would be pretty astute in that observation. So one is Yankee Candle's Home for the Holidays. That is a fragrance that, truthfully, you guys, I am actually going to start burning probably later this week. That is the fragrance that I pretty much start burning. I save that fragrance for burning during the week of Christmas because it is the most nostalgic Christmas fragrance to me. Close to that one, you guys, is Kringle Candles Christmas, giving a little bit of a spoiler alert for my part 2 of my Kringle candle haul. I am currently awaiting a 4-wick that I was able to purchase during the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. That one is now, I believe, out of stock. And you guys know Kringle shipping got backed up. And so I believe that should be here tomorrow. So that one right now is not currently in my collection, but that is one of the candles that you will see in my haul video. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get through burning that one probably this season, and that's okay. Because it's such a staple for me, it's okay to sit in my closet if I don't finish burning it this Christmas. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know I still love those fragrances. One I just don't have in my collection, and the other one I'm saving to burn a little bit later this week. So feel free to leave a comment down below. What are your favorite Christmas combinations right now? What are some candles that you have in your collection that you're loving burning with each other, or complementary fragrances? I know a lot of people read those comments, and maybe we can all get some ideas on how to enjoy our stash to its fullest potential during this holiday season. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking it out with me, you guys. This video was really hard for me to film with all of my coughing fits. I filmed a couple of other videos this week with no problem, but for whatever reason today, the air must be a little bit drier, or I don't know, maybe it's just that point in the cold. But thank you for sitting with me through all of these coughing fits and edits. Again, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.